often the most visually striking movies are shot on 1 or 2 lenses. That is like, you can definitely over order, but like, it's like I definitely have shot movies with no zooms. I've, there are definitely orders that you can do. Like, for example, I'm just going to throw this out. Most prime lenses you can use with 4 by 5.65 inch filters, but the Ingenue Optimo zoom, you need 6 by 6 filters. So that not only means that you need a different set of filters, but you need a different map box. You need, it's a whole other group of accessories. So, even though that is a really nice lens, maybe if you're on a budget, you'd be better off going for like a Cooke 10-to-1, which you can use with a smaller, with the same 4 by 5 map box. And even though it's a little slower, the optical performance is maybe a little different. It's, if you're on a budget and you're trying to keep everything small, you're trying to keep the package compact, you can, maybe that's a choice you can make. And it's definitely worth testing those 2 lenses and seeing whether that might work for you. Because, and it's talking to the camera assistants, being able to figure out like, all right, how can we have something where we can keep it simpler? The less gear you have to move around, the faster you can move, the easier everything becomes. And kind of the fewer decisions you have to make. Because the fewer decisions you're able to make, the fewer decisions you have to make. So the one thing that I will say is like, once you find a rental house that you like, that I try to influence the job to go to them. And because especially like the way digital cameras come now, when you buy the camera out of the box, you basically can't use it. You have to accessorize it pretty heavily. There are plates that go on them to to hold all of the to hold the follow focus, to hold the map box, to hold the monitors and accessories. It's and all of that stuff it tends to be very custom, and it can either work really well or not. So when you find a place that's been customizing the cameras, the way you like it, and like fitting the accessories out the way you like it, it's good to support that, because there really is a huge range, more than there was with film cameras, between how people think about the way their whole system fits together. So this is the list from Boys Don't Cry, and the whole list is included in the package that you can download. But I'm just pointing out a few things, like what I write on the list. I always make sure I put the production office's contact information, and I always put my information on there, so that if if the rental manager has a question, they know who to call. And I make sure that the list itself is clearly labeled with the job and the date, so that there's no translation that has to happen. All that I give it to the production manager. The production manager, in this day, when this happened, they faxed it. You remember fax machines? They faxed it to the rental house, who then like had it straight from my computer what I was asking for. So we shot with a movie cam. That is the lens package that we did Boys Don't Cry with. There's no zooms. There's, the 135 is the only thing that doesn't come in like the basic Zeiss super speed set, and the 2x extender, which I think we used once. You can, and out of those lenses, the 25, 35, and 50 were the ones that did, probably 95% of the movie, and it was, and probably 85% of it was the 35. So you can totally do movies that look real, that look big, that are what they are with, like 2 lenses. And, it's kind of all about where you do it. When you're thinking about the lighting order, again, it's like having one of every kind of light is not as useful as I think about it as, you got a big light, the medium light, and the little light. And often you don't even need the big lights. So like a big light could be an 18K, which is very big, or the big light on your movie could be a 4K, which is, in the case of Boys Don't Cry, that's what it was. It was I had 3 4Ks and 2 1200s and 2 Jokers, and that was it. So you can, so the 4Ks were the big lights, the 1200s were the medium lights, and the Jokers were the small lights. And that we had, because of the truck availability, it was a 40-foot trailer that we had for the lighting package, but there was so little equipment in it that each of the crew members had their own shelf to sleep on in between setups. It was very nice, and you could go inside when it was raining. It was like the clubhouse because there was no equipment cluttering it up. It was just like this big empty space. But if you can keep the truck smaller, like I did a movie called Our Song where the entire package was in 2 12-foot cube vans, and nobody even knew we were there. You could park right next to the set, like it was not a hassle. And then this is the tungsten lighting from Boys Don't Cry, it's a little more extensive, but not that much. It's basically, I call it Noah's Ark. It's like 2 of everything. I like the Mighties and Mickeys because you can fill a large area. They're good for bounce. They're very low maintenance, and for the most part, you can plug them into the walls. The only things on this list that you can't really plug into a wall are the 10Ks and the 9 lights, which was important. And that was a big night exterior shoot. It mostly took place at night. There were a lot of exteriors, and we did it well within what this lighting package was, with a couple of drop loads.